Celebrating International Midwives Day. My name is Maria Chaudhry with Birthsong Botanicals and Birthsong Midwifery, and I'm here to honor the legacy of midwives, to honor those who have come before us, whose shoulders we stand on, to honor the midwives that are currently serving women and children and families all over the world, improving birth, and to those who are yet to come, the future midwives. And I am here with Mother Mary and her child, Sacred Mother, Sacred Child, as a midwife, a bearer of the rose, knowing that there is also a Sacred Father with this holy family. And I just felt so compelled to send a prayer, a blessing to the midwives all over the world, and to say thank you specifically to the midwives here in Arkansas that I live. Now, I'm no longer practicing midwifery. I'm now fully stewarding and tending to and caring for Birthsong Botanicals. And I'm also a midwife of an embodiment practice so that we can embody the wisdom of creation and Gaia through an art called Qi Gong. And it is a beautiful practice. But as we stand with Mother Mary and we reflect on those who have come before, we have to say thank you to the granny midwives of the Ozark Mountains, the ones that went to births riding a horse, those that went to births days away through the mountains, through the weather, really thanking them. They knew the ways of the plants and herbs and traditional medicine and traditional healing. They were oracles. They were simple, really practical, grounded midwives of the Ozark Mountains. So thanking the granny midwives. And thanking the Delta midwives down in the Delta, down in the southern part of Arkansas, when Arkansas was segregated, and there was a low, very low, poor infant mortality and maternal mortality rate in the Black communities and the African American communities. And the world was still really segregated and racist. Surprise. And so Arkansas decided to train midwives in the Delta. And so we have May Odessa Hale, and she ended up training and taking care of all these Black families and saving lives. And because of women like her, midwifery is legal in Arkansas today. So just honoring our foremothers and honoring my foremothers, honoring Teresa Elder, my primary teacher, honoring Kate Conway and Bonnie Bowen, who opened up Arkansas Midwives School and Services. Honoring other midwives that were at that time that made major political change in Arkansas and are still doing the work to fight for women's rights and midwives' rights. That's Ida Dara, Mary Alexander, Deb Phillips, and honoring Barbara Mueller, the woman that inspired me to be a midwife. And now the current midwives, now all midwives all over the world and all over the United States, but specifically in Arkansas, honoring the current midwives. You know, I'm no longer a practicing midwife, but I have sister midwives. And that, you know, there's too many to mention, but I will mention Kim Jacobs, Shay Childs, Anna Tarbett, Lucy Ferguson. There's a bunch more. I'm feeling y'all like starting to come in. So honoring the Arkansas midwives. Rosemary. And honoring also their midwives on their own right. They trained with other midwives too, not just me, but some that I had the privilege of getting to be a part of their training. And that's Misty Hudspeth and Meg Stairs. And starting to shift now to the daughters, to those, the apprentices, those that are yet to come. And there's one apprentice, her name is Ariel Fox. And Ariel Fox is a current apprentice of Misty Hudspeth and goes to births and then comes here after births, comes to Birth Song Botanicals after a long night. And then she comes and she starts making postpartum herb bath for all the clients and all the mothers and babies that we're serving. And so we're here in service, we're here in devotion, we're here in contribution to honor the apprentices that are going to carry on the legacy of midwifery. And I invite each one of us to put into the comments, honoring our teachers, our sisters, and honoring our descendants. I have another teacher or sister I should mention, and that's Jennifer Creel. She's the one that helped me complete my training. So let us, as we start to think into it, all these names and all these women, let us not forget. Because the role of a midwife, we're often in the background. We're often the hidden one. And that's our role, and we're comfortable with that. We trust birth. We trust the woman. We trust the baby. We trust the process. And so we know how to be present with the process and the unfolding of it, and how to step back and create space for it to unfold. And then in right timing, if needed, we have the skills and the training and the expertise and the professionalism to step forward and do what needs to be done. And perhaps we might have to do the stitches or give the herbs or stop the bleeding or resuscitate the baby or transport or refer. Anything that we have to do, we will do. Always in service for birth and for women and for babies and for families. And so I'd like to just take a moment to send a blessing out to all of you that have practiced midwifery, that are practicing midwifery, and that will practice midwifery. And I'm really dropping into those of you that are still practicing right now and holding you and supporting you. Feeling that you are rooted and grounded in practical birth wisdom. There's one part of you that's rooted in this ancient, eternal midwifery from the mothers from the beginning of time. You are rooted in that legacy. And there's another part of you that's rooted in modern day realities of what modern women are facing. And you hold the skills of an ancient and modern midwife. And you're preparing the future. And it's not an easy task. It's not an easy road, but it's a road that you have been called. You have chosen. You have chosen time and time again to set what you were doing down. To set, in some ways, your needs down for you to show up to be of service. And this prayer is a prayer for you. for you to have your needs met, for you to have the basic needs of your body met, of your blood, of your muscles, of your bones met, for you to have the time and the space, for you to listen, just like you listen to that baby's heartbeat. Listen to your own heartbeat. And this prayer, this blessing, is for you to take the time you need to refresh and to restore and recover. You're traversing worlds, different worlds. You go into homes, different homes, or different clients. And in that, you learn so much. But you also pick up a lot of wisdom, but you also pick up a lot of grief and sadness and fear and trauma that's not yours. And so the invitation is to have skills to shake it off, to loosen up, to let a lot of that go, to carry what's only yours and not carry all this other pain that is not yours. So with this prayer, it's a prayer of an exhale, of a release, of a letting go. Because you stand at the threshold of life and death. Most of the time, it's a gorgeous, simple, easy emerging of life. And sometimes you have to support the emerging of life. And sometimes no matter what you do, you did all the right things. Sometimes no matter what you do, it's not life that emerges. It's death. And you're there, humbled to your knees, humbled to the ground, humbled with tears broken open, knowing you did everything you could do. I'm moved to tears with that as I hold you, as you navigate this portal of grief, and that you take the time you need, because you know the phone's going to ring and you're going to be called to another birth, and that birth is going to be completely different, and you cannot carry that grief into that room. So you have to learn to set it down and create space for yourself to then celebrate the birth of the next baby that was so easy. As you hold this juxtaposition within yourself, the position that you feel the most awkward in, the most challenged by, and you feel that posture in your body, that humbleness, and then as you hold that posture in your body of feeling the most empowered, the most called, the most resonant, the most confident, skilled, patient, loving, as you hold both those parts in you, something new emerges. And that is a whole and complete sacred midwife. And that's who you are. And the presence that you hold is so important. And it is felt for centuries, actually. It is rippled out. It is felt through generations. So never, ever feel like what you're doing is inconsequential. You are shaping and changing entire generations. As I just pause and listen in to the heart of a midwife, knowing you are surrounded by guardians and guides, angels, and everyday people like me here supporting you. You're supported by the plants, by the herbs, you're supported by mentors, you're supported by the clients, you're supported by the legacy, you're supported by these unseen forces. So when you feel like you're about to collapse, allow yourself to rest on the chair, on the earth, on the bed. Drink your nourishing herbal teas, take your herb baths, take your walks, and know that you are supported, and we believe in you, and we appreciate you. Sending this prayer out into the world, out to all the midwives, and really letting this prayer then also ripple out to your clients. May you be magnetic. May you, as a midwife, be yourself in such a way that the perfect clients come to you. That you don't have to shape, shift, and shrink yourself into some box or some mold to be who you think they need you to be. That you are yourself and you hold a resonance that attracts other families and clients to you. That's easy to work with. That it's a delight to work with. And that no matter what the outcome of the birth is, that it's for your soul unfolding and their soul unfolding, and you are a team that all works together. You and the mother and the partner and the baby and your apprentice, you all come together as a unified team to have this experience in resonance, so that your job becomes so much easier when you're not trying to serve everyone. Just being available to those that are resonant with the truth of who you are. And let birth do the heavy lifting. You're a sacred space holder. You have skills. Let your protocols, let your tools do the work for you. Your primary role is to listen. Allow yourself to listen and hold space. Listening to yourself, listening to the baby's heartbeat, listening to the mom, to the partner, listening to the birth song. So with that, we're starting to come to completion with this prayer, letting this come into your body, come into your heart, come into your spirit, come into your circle, and share this prayer with your midwives, with your friends, with anyone that would benefit from this. And I'm also inviting you, if you feel like you would like a practice that is a physical embodiment practice that embodies the wisdom of midwifery, embodies the wisdom of feminine wisdom, I invite you to join me every week on Tuesdays at 11. For 30 minutes, we do an embodiment practice that is inspired by the Tao Te Ching. The Tao Te Ching is an ancient text rooted in feminine wisdom. So we read a passage of the book, a poem, a gorgeous poem, and some of the titles are midwifery, birth, intuition, those who have gone before, trust yourself. And after we read the passage, we do an embodiment practice, a movement, a soft, flowing, gentle movement. And if you feel compelled, you stay for the conversation. If not, you bow out. You can come live, and I'll put the link here, or you can catch up on the replays and just do it at your own time, because you work in a different time than other people work in. And so just allow yourself to receive the replay and know that you're plugging into a circle of women that honor the hidden ones, the forgotten ones. The whole point of this circle is to support women who need to feel connected to something bigger than themselves. And you're already connected to birth. And so you hold a very unique thread that could be woven in, and we'd love to receive you. Loving you all, blessing your journey, blessing your path, trust your path. Thank you for your service. Thank you for your devotion to birth.